Hi tutor, welcome to our YouTube channel. I'm teacher Grace, and for today, we are going to start our training course that is about ESL. So I know you have heard of the ESL industry, but you are not sure on how to become one or on how to successfully pass your applications. So in our training course, we are going to have a series of videos that all of the videos will be helpful to you, and I want you to have the commitment to finish watching the videos step by step. Do not skip any videos because each video is part of a bigger picture in this industry, and I want you to learn once only. If you have the dedication, I believe that you will only learn once, and then after that we are going to apply everything that you will be learning, and that is the pathway of becoming an effective ESL teacher. And so we will proceed now to the first series, our lesson 1, which is all about the ESL industry, from the meaning of like what is ESL and the other things that you have to learn.
All right, so let's proceed to our ESL training course. Again, this training course is about how to become an ESL tutor. Not only how to become, but also how to be effective as an ESL tutor. Anyway, before we become an ESL tutor, of course, you have to undergo some applications, trainings, demonstrations. So everything that you need. So I will be discussing this training course. So again, please have the commitment to follow and to spend time with me while I give you the knowledge that I have. And so let's have our first lesson. So by the way, our material today is part of our ESL Launchpad that I launched last year. So in this Launchpad, like this is the source of our training today. So if you want your own personal copy, because we also have activities in here, so you can check the comment section or the description box. I will put the details. And so let's have our lesson 1, which is about getting started in the ESL industry. This is the module 1. And then here we have our goals. As you can see, we have to understand the ESL world, identify your opportunities and pathways. So there are a total of 5 lessons, but today we'll just focus on the lesson 1. What is the ESL industry? Okay, so these are the downloadables. If you want your own personal copy, you will have the downloadables. So these are the documents that you can use and you can edit to have like the self-assessment quiz. You can use that one to self-assess whether, yeah, later we'll be discussing about this one. Now, so for lesson 1, what is the ESL industry? It's very important that before we begin working as an ESL tutor, we have to understand what it means like what ESL means, so the foundation of our industry or this kind of job. So this first lesson lays the foundation for everything that follows. It helps you understand what the ESL or English as a second language industry is, where you fit in, and the different paths you can take so you can confidently start your ESL journey. So what is ESL? Sorry. So ESL stands for English as a Second Language, obviously. So it refers to teaching English to individuals whose native language is not English. So this is different from EFL, English as a Foreign Language, though many people use these terms interchangeably. So ESL learners live in an English-speaking country and EFL learners live in a non-English-speaking country. So in my experience, I had the opportunity teaching students from China, from Japan, from Vietnam, Mongolia, and European countries. I had an experience teaching, even now, I am teaching students from Spain, from Italy, from France, from Peru, the European countries and South American countries. So yes, we'll be teaching English to these students. So ESL means learners live in an English-speaking country. So it doesn't really mean that like the people speak English. It's just that most of them have the knowledge of English. So in the modern online teaching world, the difference is small. So most online ESL teachers deal with students in non-English speaking countries. So the term ESL is commonly used for both. So that's why we have the commonly term ESL. So it means English as a second language. So we will be teaching English to these kinds of people or these kinds of students. And why is ESL a global opportunity? So why am I here sharing with you the opportunity? Yeah, why is it a global opportunity? It is because it is the language of international business, education, and travel. So whenever you travel, you need to speak in English to be understood, right? So millions of people around the world study English every day. So in the Philippines, if you can speak English, you have the opportunity to work in a call center company or in the ESL industry, or you have the leverage if you can speak English. So that's why ESL is a global opportunity, and therefore the demand of the ESL industry has grown rapidly because some countries like China, they have so many students in China who want to learn English, especially the young kids, even the business professionals, even China, just China itself. They already have lots of companies who offer English lessons. And because of course, we already know that most of the companies are Chinese companies. So that's the sign that ESL is a global opportunity, not only in Asia, but also in the Europe continent, the European countries. And then let's proceed to the top reasons people study English. We already know these: to get a job promotion, to pass international exams like IELTS or TOEFL, to communicate while traveling, to attend a university abroad, and to work with international clients. So these are the top reasons why students study English. And therefore, we have to know the goal of the student, why they are studying English. So we will discuss later. Now, let's have the two major ways to teach ESL. So there are two main pathways in the ESL industry. Let's discuss this quickly. So first, we have working for an ESL company. It can be online or offline. So you sign up as a tutor or teacher with the company, and then they handle the marketing, give you students, and sometimes provide the lesson materials. And I believe that's the reason why you are here, because you saw some of my videos about companies hiring some teachers, and that is really a good opportunity to work from home. Even I work from home nowadays. Not nowadays. Actually, for almost 8 years now, I have been working from home, and it's a great journey for me. I have learned a lot, and now I am working in a company that compensates really well, and I believe that you can also do it. I believe that this is also a great opportunity for you. And now let's have the pros and cons of, I'm sorry for the typos. I will have to edit the document because there are some changes. I don't know what happened. So these are the advantages of working for a company. So easy entry for beginners. No need to find your own students. Lesson plans often provided. Consistent platform and support. Yes, so there are companies who definitely accept beginners, even those who are undergraduates, like a rare job. So you don't have to find your own students, they will provide for you. And most of the time, the materials are provided. And they also have this support that can help you whenever you have problems with your classes. But the disadvantages are these. So these are just some of the disadvantages. You will have lower pay, some as low as $3. Actually, in the Philippines, lower than $3. And then we have strict policies and teaching rules. You have to follow policies, no absences policies. You cannot be late in the class. Actually, that is for our own good because as a teacher, we have to show that we are punctual in the class. So I think that is a good self-discipline for the teachers. And then we have limited control over your schedule. Most of the companies, they have these peak hours that you really have to, you know, comply. You really have to follow, or else you will not have as many students as you expected. Then sometimes unstable. Some companies, especially those who are new, suddenly they close, and maybe unfortunately they don't pay the teachers, and that's very unfortunate. But it's very rare actually. But later on, I'm going to teach you, or I'm going to help you identify red flags in order for us to, you know, avoid these kinds of companies. And then let's proceed to the examples of online ESL companies. So we have Tutoring KR, that was my previous company. Preply, I passed my application in Preply. I mean the process. I already have the Preply profile, but I'm not working then because I think it will take a lot of time to build your portfolio. I mean your your teaching profile. I mean your experience. Now I am more focused on my company. And then we have Engu, Cambly, italki freelance like Rare Job, Native Camp. So for beginners, I highly recommend Rare Job, Native Camp, and Engu. Yeah. I experienced working at Rare Job and they accept undergraduates there, and they really help you, become a better ESL teacher when it comes to your teaching style, the strategies, your English skills. That is really a good foundation for beginners. I mean, for new teachers in this industry. And then let's have the freelancing as an independent ESL tutor. So it means you work for yourself, you find your own students through social media, referrals, or freelance teaching platforms. You set your own rates, policies, and lesson content. So you are a freelancer. It means you are independent. So here the pros are like you have higher income potential because you will be receiving everything. So you don't have to give to, like, you don't have to share a commission with the company. So everything is like yours. And then full control over your time and pricing. You can set your own prices. And then you can also manage your schedule. You can only teach on your free time or whenever you like. You build your own brand and your and reputation, and no middleman taking commissions, as I have said. And for the disadvantages, you require marketing and consistency. Of course, you have to be knowledgeable about how to market yourself, how to promote yourself as a teacher. And you have to create your own materials, and you must handle scheduling, payments, and communication. So I know if you are a new tutor, so I think this one is a bit challenging. Yeah, because you're just starting. So this is for those tutors who already have the experience and they already have the materials, then they already know, they already have the knowledge of how to handle the schedules, the payments. So maybe we focus just in the part of this one, working for an ESL company for now. But if you're already a tenured teacher, so you already had the experiences, then this is for you. And I appreciate you watching this video, even though you already have the experience. Now, let's proceed to where freelancer finds students. Yeah, you join some Facebook groups like Learn English Online. We have freelance platforms, Fiverr or Fiverr, Upwork. We have those. Then we have the ESL marketplaces. We have Preply, italki, Amazing Talker. These are companies who already have their own students. But anyway, it's like more of like independent freelance teacher. And then you have the referrals and student networks. If you are a really good teacher, effective in what you are doing, so your students will refer some people, to take your classes. So just do your best in every class. So here, many tutors start with companies and later they shift to freelancing once they gain confidence and experience. Yes, so that's what I was saying. So when you are confident already, then you can jump into freelancing because here you have more flexibility, more income, and then yes, I think it's like most people prefer this kind of way of teaching. But anyway, we have to focus on the new teachers. So here are the differences, like the side by side differences between online versus offline ESL teaching. So for online ESL tutors, you teach from home via Zoom, Google Teams, or teaching platforms. So most of the time, the company has its own teaching platform. But for the offline ESL, you need to teach at a school, academy, or in-person tutorial center. So this one can be applicable. For example, if you're going to apply in a company, some of those companies are purely online and some are like you have to go to the office. For the tools, you really have to have a laptop or a desktop computer. You should have the webcam, the headset, and the internet. So for new tutors, please make sure that you have these if you want to apply as an online tutor. So for offline ESL, so they have the physical classroom, but most of the time they also have the things that the online teachers have. So they also have the computer, the webcam, the headset, and the internet. Now we have here the requirements. We have TOEFL, which is a very common certification if you want to work an ESL teacher. And then we also have the usually degree plus the TOEFL or local license for offline ESL tutors. But I don't think that they need you to have the professional license. Usually they just appreciate if you have the TOEFL certification. And then example jobs, company based or freelancing. And for offline, we have public schools and language centers. Yes, actually, in my first company, I worked in an offline, not really offline, like a company-based ESL school. So I used to go to the company and I taught online students and offline students. So it's possible nowadays. So I taught 5 hours of online classes and then 3 hours of offline classes. So it's a really good experience because I had the chance to meet students personally, and I also had the experience of handling classes online. So that is a really good foundation for my, ESL journey. So most beginners, they start online because it's more flexible, has fewer barriers, and requires little to no commuting or relocation. Yes, so actually, tutor, if you have a desktop computer, if you have a stable and reliable internet connection, you have the webcam, you have the headset, you are good to go. Yeah. But of course, we have to consider our English skills, our pronunciation, our grammar, what else? So the way we speak to the student. Yeah. So later on, we will also discuss about our skills, English skills, because it is very important. And of course, we have to have the confidence. Yeah, because if we are not confident, then it seems like our students will not trust us because we are not confident ourselves, right? So we have to have that confidence. Now, so we have the growth of the industry. I will read this one for you. Even with the changes in Chinese regulations in 2021, so during that time, many Chinese companies who offer English classes closed. So the global ESL marketing is still expanding. So Southeast Asia, the Middle East, South America, and Europe are currently booming markets for English tutoring. And because many parents and professionals prefer one-on-one or personalized coaching, the need for capable tutors continues to grow. And I agree with this one. So as I have said in the previous slide, now I am teaching students from South America and Europe. Yes, and they're from Spain, Italy, France, Germany, from Peru, from Argentina, and they are really good students. Very easy to teach. Okay, so let's have the key takeaways for this first lesson for our module 1. So ESL means teaching English to non-native speakers, often online. There are two main paths. So company-based, easier to start, or freelance, higher earning potential. Students come from all over the world and need English for many different reasons, as we already mentioned. You don't need to be a native speaker or a licensed teacher to get started. Yes, I myself is not a native speaker, and I myself make, small mistakes whenever I maybe construct sentences, right? Whenever I use prepositions, I still make mistakes, but not the big ones, and I'm always learning. So it means even if you're not a native speaker and even if you're not a licensed teacher, you can work as an ESL tutor online. Yeah. as long as you have the TOEFL certifications. In our next lesson, we will talk about the certifications. And then understanding these options help you choose the right path for you. Yes. So you have to identify. So which one do you like? Do you want to teach online or do you want to teach offline? Do you want to teach for a company or do you want to do it on your own? Do you want to be a freelancer? So you have to identify and then you have to select one. So that is the first step that you are going to take, okay? So please write in the comment section what would you like? Do you want to work as an online tutor working from home? Or do you want to work in an office-based company? Like, do you want to be an offline English tutor? Or do you want to be, you are ready and you have the experience. So you want to start your freelancing journey as an ESL tutor. So please let me know in the comment section. So this will be the first part of our series. So we already identify what is ESL, the two main paths, and you already know that students will come from different countries. And then you have to identify whether you want to be an online teacher, offline teacher, or a freelancer. So let me know. And in our next lesson, we are going to have, oh, this one is for the activities. So again, if you want to do the activities that I included in this launchpad, so you can check the description box and then I can help you, check your work. Just send me a message on my Facebook account. So I will also put in the description box. And then for our second lesson, we are going to have, okay, yeah, you can also answer this one. So based on your comparison, which combination fits you best and why? And then for our next lesson, we will have the lesson 2. Let's talk about the minimum requirements, degree, certification, and skills. Yes, as I have told you, do not skip any videos because every video is everything you need to learn as an ESL tutor. And if you just follow the lessons and be with me and apply everything, then I am sure you will be an effective ESL tutor. And don't worry, I will guide you every step of the way. So I want to see you in our next lesson, okay? All right. So thank you so much for being with me and see you in the next one.